as promised, I'm back! Alright, this science experiment is for everybody. These materials are not in the science kits. So, everybody needs to get some baking soda, some vinegar. I have two different kinds of vinegar. I have red wine vinegar and I have rice vinegar. So I have two different kinds of vinegar. You might just have normal vinegar at home and that's fine. And a plastic baggie and a napkin. And I'm gonna go ahead and get the napkin out of here. I'm gonna use this napkin today. Those are the materials you need. So here's what we're gonna do first. I'm gonna open my napkin up and I'm going to dump some baking soda into my napkin. Now this is a really big napkin. I don't need a napkin that big. So I'm gonna rip it and I'm gonna dump some of this baking soda into here. I'm gonna make a little baking soda pocket. All right, so I have a lot of baking soda here as you can see, and I'm just gonna roll it up into like a hot dog. Then I'm going to pour my vinegar into my bag. So here we go. Pour the vinegar. That's good enough. And I'm actually going to do two separate bags because I have two different kinds of vinegar. You don't need to do that if you don't have two kinds of vinegar. You can just use one kind of vinegar. But as a scientist, I love to test things out. And I've only ever used one kind of vinegar, and that's like the normal house vinegar. And so I wanted to see what these different kinds of vinegars would do to this chemical reaction. So here we go. All right, I've got my materials ready, but you know what? I'm gonna take this outside because this could get messy. I'll see you outside. Here we are, outside, ready to do our experiment. All right, I've got my vinegar and I've got my 2 pockets of baking soda. Now, here's what we're gonna do. You must ask an adult where they think the best spot is to do this experiment, because you certainly don't want to make a mess in the house. So you need to ask an adult before you do this experiment. But baking soda and vinegar are things that are usually around the house. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I had to use these 2 kinds of vinegar because I didn't have normal vinegar in my house. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to take my pocket of baking soda. I'm going to I'm gonna put it in here, but I'm gonna pinch it while I close the bag. This is so that the chemical reaction does not begin until I'm ready for it. Then I'm gonna dump the baking soda into here. I'm gonna shake it up, and then we're gonna see what happens. Are you ready? Here we go. The bag is filling up with air because the combination of baking soda and vinegar is creating a chemical reaction that's creating a gas that is filling up this bag with air. How cool is that? Now, thankfully, these goggles were not necessary because it did not explode, but it had the potential to explode because the gas was filling that bag up. And what would have happened if just a little bit more gas had filled that bag up? It would have gone in my face. All right, let's see. So that was the rice vinegar. Let's see what the red vinegar reaction is and if it's any different. Do you think it's going to be any different than the other vinegar? Let's find out. All right, what am I gonna do first? I'm gonna put this pocket inside here. Am I gonna dump it right away? Nope. I'm gonna pinch the top. I'm gonna close the bag. And this time, I'm gonna hold it because it did not explode in my face. So I'm gonna hold it right here. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Again, you see that chemical reaction happening, and this bag is actually a lot more full of air than the other bag was. I wonder if it's gonna pop. Anticlimactic. It didn't pop in my face. it still had a similar reaction. This one is actually really cold, and this one is not. So, for whatever reason, when the vinegar, the red vinegar, mixed with the baking soda, it created a cold reaction, where when the normal vinegar, or the rice vinegar mixed with the vinegar, or with the baking soda, it was just a normal temperature. That's very interesting. I'm gonna have to Google to find out why that happened, because to be honest, I just did this today. I've mixed baking soda and vinegar before, but I've never done a red vinegar before. That's very interesting. I'm gonna have to find out. When you see me at school, ask me why that happened, and I'll be glad to tell you, because when we come back to school, I'll have the answer for you. All right, thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you at school. Thanks for joining us for STEM night, and don't forget to fill out that attendance form so that you get credit. It's linked below right here. It's not linked below right here. I'm sorry. It's linked in the Facebook. It's linked in the Facebook, and you will be able to fill that out so that you get attendance for being here, because the class with the most points gets a prize. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time for our next virtual family night.